Yeah.
We want to talk about why is college important. Do you think college is important? Not why is it, but do you think college is important? If so, why? If not, why? I'll let one of y'all go first.
I just feel like I feel like honestly it's the perspective that you have on life, and then I feel like it's the way you were raised. My
Mm-hmm.
parents, both of them went, and then my dad went, but my dad has like two associates, and he's like super successful, like $1 million type of shit, and like he's like, bro, you do not have to go to that shit. Like just do X, Y, and Z. Here's the blueprint and run the play type shit,
Mm.
and then, but I didn't want to run that play, so I kind of copied the same format and decided to do it in my lane, which is IT. And like I said, it panned out for me like pretty well. But it's the
Wow.
whole skip route. But you got to be kind of like into it. To go down that route, you got to be really intuitive with yourself. You got to be willing to go
Mm-hmm.
through the highs and lows. You got to be willing to be like somebody looking in your face and be like, nah, bro, you don't got a degree, so I'm not even about to pull you in. And you got to be able to live
Mm-hmm.
with that, and but still be able to keep going forward, and you'll still find your opportunity. You know what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
that's how I feel about that. So it just depends on who you are and how you were raised, and what your financial situation looking
That's
like.
true.
Because I don't encourage nobody signing a $46,000 loan at 18 to maybe make 70 when they get out on a good day
Wow.
type shit. So
What you think,
that's my
That now
Jason?
that's
answer to
tough.
it.
What you think, Jason?
I I'm actually you're gonna probably be surprised with my answer. I don't think you need it. It depends on the child, right? Like I obviously I would love for my child to want to go to school if that's what they want to do. Like if they want to be a consultant, they want to be an IB, if they want to do, anything that you have to go to school in order to do it. If that's what you want to do and you know that that's what you want to go down, cool. Now, if you just want to be an entrepreneur and you don't yet know what you want to do, but you notice you want to at some point own your own business, I'm going to tell you you need to go to school so you can get those business contacts early so that when you do have your ideas fleshed out, you got people you can go to and your immediate resources, right? But if you are also and you say, I don't want to go to school, I got another plan, I got a way to make money today that I'll be happy with the amount of money that I can make today, or I can start myself on that plan now. Then I'm okay with that. You don't have to go to school, but it's all and it's kind of expecting a lot out of a kid at 18 to know because
Right,
if I went by what I wanted to do at 18, I would be in fucking accounting right
right.
now. And I now today that sounds crazy to me, but
Wait,
that
what do
was
you
a
do right
real
now?
plan for me. I'm a consultant, so I do
Okay,
management consulting.
okay, okay.
So honestly, like to me, management consulting is a great catch-all for people who don't know what they want to do, but they know they want to be in business, or they know that they want to have their own business, but just don't have that idea yet. Consulting
Right.
is a great place to start because you're going to get a lot of great skills. You're going to learn about all these different companies and how they're run, so that when you go on and get your own business or want to start your own, you're going to have something like a foundation to start off with.
Right. All
What
right.
do you
My
think, John?
my my answer is like multifaceted because I agree with both of you. I honestly, I think that like yeah, us at 18 going to college is kind of crazy in that maybe like you need life skills, and I think everyone's path is different. But I
Mm-hmm.
also think like I've talked to a lot of people about this. I think college. I feel like us as Black people just don't have the luxury to like be choosy about our education. I feel like just be based on the wealth gap, it's just like man, like us not going to college is not working. Not saying that it's not working, but like I don't know how to
For
phrase it
the
right.
vast majority of us, it's not working.
Right, exactly. And I also feel that what the quickest ways to wealth is going to school. Like historically, like what is one of the quickest ways? Like I know we say 70,000 or 60,000 is not shit, but imagine just having no money last year to making 60,000 this year. Now you have more money than you've ever had in your life. And imagine like a lot of people in our culture are first generation college students and
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah,
And so you've seen your mom struggling, not have shit. I mean, granted, I think their college should be way cheaper. I think like paying
absolutely.
80,000 is ridiculous, and I think that's honestly ultimately what hinders people from going. And obviously, it makes sense. Like, why would I pay this much for something that may or may not pan out? But I also think there are also cheaper ways to do school
To
too.
do
So I
that,
think
yeah,
sometimes
absolutely.
like that's just an excuse. Now, granted, I do think you can make it without college. I mean, we have multiple examples of people making it without college, especially if like what you want to do is not something that's really specialized. Like if you're not trying to
Hmm.
be in like a lawyer or a doctor,
Doctor.
finance, that's per se, depending on what you're trying to do in finance. Like, I don't think you have to go to school. And I also think that the people who like school is pointless, you come out with a lot of debt and you make only like 30,000 a year, are like people who majored in like fucking English and shit. Right?
Yeah, exactly. That's my other
Like,
point. That's my other point.
Like, it all depends on what you major into. Like, if you're majoring in English or like history, like, bro, I don't know, like, and you expect it to come out with something, like, what do you expect? You know what I'm saying? So I think
they're not doing their research, man, going into it.
Right. And
really,
so,
Yeah, bro. But how? You know what I'm saying? Like that's the thing I'm talking about. Like, so you already know, like, yeah, senior year, junior year in high school, they got the schools lined up in the gym on the floor, talking about what college I want to sign up to.
Yeah.
All this other shit. Like, you already know. So it's just like, I'm not doing no research. I just see this booth. I see all my friends going to this booth, and
you're gonna follow your friends.
For sure.
And you just follow niggas that don't got no money either. Like, that's really just keep it a beat.
But my thing about it is, I think college is more than just getting like academic education too, though. I think like just going to parties and like meeting women, meeting even your friends, like, bro, like I know for a fact, like all my real friends from Morehouse, like bro, that's like a bond. Like, that's some shit that, you know I can call on them years from now and shit. And I know a lot of them going to be successful. And imagine like you trying to start a business or you trying to you're in this field and you need to get tapped into somebody into this field that he's in and he's successful in it, or that your spellman's is successful in. Like, I think like these are your professors, like these are connections. I also think that is important, like, to do some work before you go to school. Like, I feel like on some real shit, what made me appreciate school more was when I took a year off. I took a whole year off and I worked a fucking trash ass job. I was working at a car wash, making $250 every 2 weeks. And I was seeing, I was getting hoed. And I was, bro. But the thing is though, like, I was seeing people from like my area, or I was seeing like people who were forced to do that because they had no other means of income. They didn't, you know what I'm saying?
Nah. Bro, see, I don't agree with that. I just agree with that. I disagree with, like, you know what I'm saying? People think they got no other options, but they just don't know how to, like, think or, you know, just network or just soak up knowledge in a different lane. You know what I'm saying?
But that goes into, but I think that goes into my point about Black people don't have the luxury to complain about education, because, like, bro, if you don't know, you don't know. And imagine you having like 6 kids and you have to put food on the table. It's going to be hard for you to tell somebody that, man, you have better options. You need to just go out and network. Well, how can I just waste my time networking when I have 6 mouths I have to feed? You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what made me appreciate my journey through college even more. Working at FED, working at all these dead-end jobs that I worked at, and just seeing how people have to grind because they have no other means of making income. They don't, like, at least they feel they don't have any other means, right? And so it was like, man, like, that made me appreciate it way, way, way more. It made me way more well-rounded. Like, I can see perspectives from all sides, bro. Like, I can see rich people's perspective. I can see poor people's perspective. I can see if you have 6 kids. I can see if you have no kids, older, younger. Like, it made me appreciate that way more than I think a lot of my classmates, or even my friends that didn't even go to school. I think I feel like I can see the world more conceptually. I'm more well-rounded because of those experiences. And ultimately, I think a combination of education and experience, bro, it makes you like this. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So I think those are the things that, like, just bring it all together. I think you need both, honestly.
And then another thing too, like you said, like, you know, a lot of people had like that college experience off the bat. I feel like I had like so my first job I ever had was I was an EMT, which is like one of the most rawest jobs you can get.
That's crazy.
I'm straight out of high school. You know what I'm saying? And that was like, I guess, my school 101 or whatever. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that shit was like when I was really like, I was in bullshit almost every day. And then like, it just taught me a lot. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like I kind of skipped out on a little experience in college-wise, but just in the sense of just knowing who I am, seeing what I don't want to be, seeing like the most extreme lows of poverty, and just seeing like the system from a healthcare perspective in a whole nother light was just something that really just pushed me and motivated me. And like, even like people, like, it'll be like you'll see like EMTs, paramedics working the job for like 30 years. I got 3 kids. I'm on child support. dog, I can't leave because if I leave, I'm gonna be behind on my mortgage payment. And you know what I'm saying? And Lincoln's like, yeah, I just gotta stay it out for 15 more years, then I can retire. Shit like that. I'm like, bro, you're crazy as hell. But I'm about to stack up like $3,000 and I'm out. Like,
And speaking,
I'm about to on to the next.
Speaking of that, like, I think that we don't also take in, like, I'm a numbers guy, obviously I work in finance, so I don't think we take into perspective the statistical aspect of it. Like, I don't think we take into perspective that like 3/4 of America doesn't have $1,000. I don't think we take into perspective that, as we're seeing right now in this pandemic, most people are living paycheck to paycheck. So what is worse, living paycheck to paycheck or taking out a $50,000 loan and coming out making $80,000-$90,000? What do you think?
I guess it depends on who you are, bro. It really does.
But what I'm saying is, bro, if you've gone 30 years of your life living paycheck to paycheck, then does that $50,000 loan sound so bad? Then does that? Bro,
honestly, look, this is how I feel about it, right?
So, hey, Jason, you gotta mute. You turned off the phone.
So this is how I feel about it, though, right? So even though, let's say, you know, I feel like spending habits are spending habits regardless. You know what I'm saying? To a certain extent, like whether you make 50, 25, 100K. If you got a bad spending habits at 25,000, you're gonna have bad spending habits at 50,000. You're gonna have bad spending habits at 75,000. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like the people that could, you know, practice good spending habits and good money behavior at $25,000 have a better opportunity to grow and, you know, expound upon than someone that makes $70,000 and poor spending habits. You know what I'm saying?
I agree, but I also think that like you're looking at it from a perspective as someone being single. Like you have no responsibility. I'm looking at it from the perspective of like, man, if you got kids, bro, and you're like you're making 30 a year, I don't think it's bad spending habits. I just think your expenses are so high because of like people you have to take care of and the things you have to do that it
Let's just be raw though. Let's just be raw about it. You just couldn't afford it. You really couldn't afford to have a kid, bro.
You couldn't, but I'm saying even making like 25 years tough. Like that's tough. If you like, where can you? Exactly. So that's my point. If your rent is $800 alone and you're making $1,000 a month, like where's the bad spending habits? You're spending all your money on just living. You see what I'm saying? So my point is, would you rather have that, or would you rather take out a $50K loan and come out making maybe between 60 and 90 and be able to pay that loan off in installments? But now you have way more bandwidth and more money to at least do some things that you couldn't do when you was making 25. You see what I'm saying? Like that's what I think we don't really think about. Like, I mean, I'm going really in depth in my mind, but that's what I think, that when people talk about this, it's so surface level. I don't know what happened to Jason. Damn, he was recording. Oh no, it's just not a video. But he's still on the call. But like what I'm saying is, like, I just think we think about it so surface level and not as in depth.
And then my thing too on top of that is like, let's say you go out there and let's say you master, you know, you want to go out there and get your bachelor's in finance, which is a 4-year process, 4.5-year process, whatever it is. I feel like if you could figure out something that you're keenly interested in and you study for 4 years, I feel like you can definitely master it, and then definitely, you know, especially as a business owner, you can definitely master it. You can definitely expound on it to be more profitable or more successful than it is being a W-2 guy. Like, let's say like you want to learn how to like kind of what I'm kind of looking at right now is freight, right? If I stay down with freight for 4 years, there's me knowing me, I know that I can come out with $1 million on top. If I can stay down on real estate for 4 years, no matter what, to stay down with it, focused about it, learn on it, took chances on it, took calculated risk, and you know, eventually something's gonna pan out. I feel like I'm gonna make way more money staying down and betting on me than I would staying down betting on an institution. And that's just how I feel personally about betting on myself for 4 years versus betting down on somebody else who will decide to go down and, you know, take the career path of a bachelor's in finance or a bachelor in, you know, whatever.
Bro, this man put on his work fucking headphones. That's how I know you a consultant.
Yeah, man, my damn pies fucking died.
That's how I know you a fucking consultant, bro. That's nigga, bro. He's fucking meeting that headphones on and everything.
No, bro, these are my like iPads headphones, man.